We deleted anything related to users earlier on in this course. Now, our project is evolving to the point we need a concept of users in it. Let's revive some user items. So open up your version control panel, select the log, and find your initial commit. Here is just the Laravel project, and I'm going to be looking for the user model first. There we go. Next, I'm going to be looking for the factory, and there's a factory, and the migration for the user table. So let's right-click and select Apply Selected Changes. Click OK, and just like that, you'll have your files back in your project. If you weren't following along with version control, go to the Laravel framework repository on GitHub and manually get these files back in. Okay, so I've just opened up the user model, and just like the post model, I'm going to add fields as constants. So the user table fields, so I can use them all across this project. I'm also going to update the 3 files I just revived to use the constants instead of the strings. So I'm just going to skip ahead to avoid you having to watch all of that. Okay, so we are back. The reason we need the concept of users in our project is our endpoints are going to be restricted to the public. So our system will need to identify users to see if they are authenticated or not. So this means we will need a way to create a user. So let's start by creating a test for creating a user. So let's go to our test directory here. Go to API, post. You can see we have our post tests here. What we're going to do is create a new folder for users. We can actually just call it user. Okay, so we can just copy the create test from post. And what we can do here is remove the post model or change it to user. And we can change it to user here as well. Yep, that should be fine. Okay, we're going to change it down there too. And we can get rid of the data providers for now. I don't believe we'll need it. So what we're going to do is it can change this method here to say it will create user, because that's what we're going to do. This time we're not going to use the factory. We are just going to manually use faker. So do we need this poster array? Yeah, we can just change it to user. Get rid of that. And that should just be user here. Down here should be user as well. Response should be fine. Okay, so let's manually add the array in here. And we can start with username. Yep, and I'm just going to duplicate that for email as well as password. Okay, align that correctly. And now I think we just need to get in faker. Just make that lowercase. Faker, yep, that's fine. And factory, cool. Okay, so I'm just going to create a new variable here to get faker. And we're going to have faker create. Yep. And then we can use faker and do name, email, and password. So name, email, password. Cool. And make sure we change our endpoint to user instead of post. We can still grab the response and assert against that. That should be fine. So I'm just going to run my tests here. And since it's the first time today, once again, it may take a few moments to connect. In the meantime, I can tell you what it's most likely going to come back with. It's most likely going to come back with a 404. The reason for that, hope you guys can guess why. It's because we don't have a root defined for our user. Let's just double check, see if okay, still didn't pass yet. Let's leave it running. In the meantime, it's passed or failed, sorry. You can see it says 404. And that's because we do not have the root. So let's define that root in our api.php file. Okay, so we don't need that. We can make it post, not get. And that's going to be user. Cool, so we're not going to use our post controller. We are going to need a user controller. But what we're actually going to do is, since we're not doing or defining an API resource, we're going to have to say this specific route uses this specific method in this specific controller. So as you can see, I'm just using an array to define this. So the key is users, and the value is the actual method. So API user controller store. But we do not have a user controller. So let's quickly create that. Let's copy the post controller and change it to user. Cool, that's fine. And let's open up our user controller. Let's update the class name. Cool, I'm going to get rid of almost all the methods. I'm going to keep the store method and then get rid of these as well. Okay, cool. So that should be fine. Store a newly created resource in storage. And I just got rid of the post model there. Let's change this to, let's change it to user. And then of course we're going to say, let's just import this class. Cool, there we go. Username autocomplete working now. So we know we need username, email, as well as password. These are going to be our required fields. Okay, cool. So if validator fails, then we're going to go with 400. That's okay. Let's update this model to user. And we can get rid of all these attributes. Make sure we are now going to use the name attribute. Yep. And then we just need to do 2 more, which is email, and then password and password. Cool. Save. That should be fine for now. I'm just going to move this up here. I feel it's just a little bit better up there. Okay, I think we're good. I believe if we run our test now, it should pass. So let's give it a go. So if this passes, this means we have the ability to create users. Good work, guys.